Hey beauties, and thank you so much for joining me once again. I'm going to start off this video by saying that I am going to be vlogging a lot more. So many of you asked me to do videos that don't really have anything to do with makeup or beauty, things like my diet and fitness and day in the life kind of videos and just more personal questions. So I'm going to kick off this vlog series by just telling you guys a little bit about how to start a blog and how to start a YouTube channel. I get tons of questions about blogging and about how I shoot my videos, what equipment I use. So I'm just going to give you guys a nice breakdown of how I started blogging, what you can do to start your own blog, and of course how to start your own YouTube channel. So first let me tell you why I started a blog in the first place. It was about 3 years ago and I just really wanted to write. That's just a big passion of mine. So I said, why not just start my own little online publication where I can write about whatever I want, however I want. So that's how MissMaven.com came to be. Now, before I get into all the specifics of what I'm going to talk about, let me just say that what I'm suggesting is just my suggestions. It's the stuff that I use. It's the stuff that a lot of content creators use. That does not mean that these are the exact things that you have to use. I know a lot of this stuff is expensive. A lot of the equipment is pretty pricey. So if you can't afford this stuff, don't think that you can't start a blog or a YouTube channel. You absolutely can. This has just been my experience. In the beginning, I mean, I had my laptop, my MacBook Pro from college, so I already had the computer. But for my camera, I financed that. My first camera, I had to buy it and just pay it off. So in the beginning, it was like money was tight, and it wasn't like I had all these options for tons of equipment to buy. But you know, the further along I got, I just got a little piece here, a little piece there. So again, don't be discouraged if you can't afford this stuff, because natural light is just fine, and using your little webcam is also fine, so don't even worry about that. Now, before you do anything else, I think it's really important just to come up with a name. You want to come up with something that's catchy and memorable. I'm a really indecisive person, so I don't know how I came up with Miss Maven, but it just seemed like a catchy name and people would remember it easily, and it kind of came to me pretty quickly. So if you don't have a name in mind yet, a good idea is just to sit down and write a bunch of descriptive words that come to mind when you think of the blog that you want to start and the topics that you want to write about. So just seeing that in black and white, seeing all those words will really get your creativity going, and it'll help you to find a name more easily. So it could incorporate your name or it doesn't have to. That's completely up to you. And of course you want to create some sort of logo. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to hire a graphic designer or anything to create a logo for you. It could be as simple as picking just a unique set of fonts and colors. So you definitely want to make sure you have some sort of logo, however simple it is, just so that when people see it, they remember it, that, oh, that's so-and-so's blog. That's the blog that has to do with such and such topic. So it's a good idea to have a logo. Now on to the more technical stuff. The platform that you use for your blog is really important. Personally, I love WordPress because it's easy to use. It's very search friendly, so whatever you're writing about is easily searched and found on Google and other search engines. And it's just highly customizable. That's what I really love about it, is you can make a really nice looking blog without having to spend money. With WordPress, you have the option of downloading templates, and you can go through and search either on Google. You can just search free WordPress themes, or you can actually find them through WordPress as well. They have their own library of themes and templates. And so that's the easiest way to do it, just because it gives you the entire skeleton of a blog. And if you're a control freak like me, you're gonna love the fact that WordPress allows you to customize your blog however you please. And as far as layout goes, of course, this is your opportunity to be as creative as you want and really express who you are and what your blog is about. But I really suggest a white background with dark text, just because that's easier to read, so your visitors will stay on your site longer. And of course, photos make everything better. The more photos, the better. And again, I started my blog to write, but I also recognize the fact that people don't want to read a whole bunch of text. They also want to see photos. So you want to keep your blog posts anywhere from 250 to 350 words, sometimes even less, I think is better. So don't get too text heavy with your blog posts. Now, as far as posting goes, if you really want to establish yourself as a blogger and be taken seriously, you should be posting at least twice a week. 3 to 4 times a week is ideal, but at least twice a week. If you're posting, I don't know, once every 6 weeks or so, it's just not going to work. People are going to lose interest. They're going to stop visiting because they're going to see you're not really updating your blogs very often. So I think it's a good idea to just consistently have 2, 3, if you can, 4 posts a week. And please pay attention to this bit of advice. Quality writing is a must. There's no excuse for bad spelling, bad grammar, punctuation, all that stuff. If you're going to go out there and write, just make sure you're proofreading and spell checking and doing all that stuff. Just please pay attention to the quality of your writing. And of course, this goes without saying, you definitely want to promote your blog posts via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any social media network that you can, and also add your blog to the big blog directories like Bloglovin, Technorati, anything that you can, because again, that'll just put your blog on the map and just send the name out into cyberspace even more. And of course, you definitely want to add some sort of analytics to your blog. I use Google Analytics. It's just a code that you put into the back end of your blog, and it keeps up with how many visits you're getting per day, per month, the demographic of your visitors, where they're coming from. It's just really detailed, and it gives you a lot of valuable information. So I highly recommend having analytics on your blog. All right, now on to the YouTube channel. Now I'm going to start with the equipment that I use. If this room weren't such a colossal mess right now, I would turn the camera around and show you what lighting and what camera I use, but I'm just so embarrassed at how messy it is in here, so maybe I'll do that another time. For now, I'm just going to tell you what pieces of equipment that I use, starting with the camera. I use a Canon T3i, which is an older model. They have now the T4i and the T5i. It's a great amateur camera that gives you nice professional looking results, so it's easier to use, but you still get really nice effects with this camera. If you buy the bundle, it comes with the standard 18 to 55 millimeter lens. And as far as lighting goes, I really think that natural light is the best. I've got 3 big windows in this room, and I utilize the natural light as much as I can, but when I can't, or when the sun goes to the other side of the house, I've got these 2 big soft boxes. Soft boxes kind of mimic natural light. So you've got it's like a big box, and you've got the lights inside and just a white sheet over it so that it diffuses the light a little bit, so it's softer. It's not like this big harsh light on you. So soft boxes are great. They usually come in pairs. I found mine on Craigslist, but from a photography warehouse, but you can look on Amazon, and they should run you about, I don't know, maybe $150 to $200. These are not like super professional grade soft boxes, but they're enough to give me the lighting that I need. And specifically if you're doing beauty tutorials, makeup tutorials, a ring light is a great investment. The ring light that I have is now, the one that I use now, is big. It goes like, let's say this is the camera lens, it goes around it like that. So I don't know, they call it a beauty dish or a ring light. I love it. It's fantastic. What I had before was a smaller ring light that fit over the lens, so it went right around the lens. That one was $30, and I got it on Amazon. So you have options. The bigger one that I have is $160. So again, you have options. You can go with the smaller one. It still gives great results. I just like this bigger one because it gives me more options for how to use it. And as far as the lighting and the camera goes, you just have to play around with it until you find exactly the right look that you're going for. It's going to take a while, trust me, but that's kind of the fun part of it, just playing around with it, and then your creative instincts kick in and you just get all these ideas, and it's just nice to see it all come to life. So now on to post-production. The editing software that I use is Final Cut Pro X, which is a more, again, amateur-friendly version of Final Cut. It's a lot easier to use, but you can also use iMovie, which is even easier to use. I just prefer Final Cut, just maybe because I'm more used to using it. It definitely has more features than iMovie, but again, iMovie will get you a nice standard video just like you see all over YouTube. Now, one important thing to consider with YouTube and editing videos is if you're really trying to do high quality work and you want to do it consistently, you want to do 1 or 2 videos a week, I have a suggestion. I, of course, started out with this guy, my MacBook Pro, and I love it and I still use it. However, this computer is a dual-core processor, and the computer that I actually use to edit on is downstairs in my home office. It's an iMac. An iMac is a quad-core processor, which makes it a lot faster and more powerful than this computer. Just because when you're editing such big files, it'll really slow down your computer if you're doing it a lot. So my recommendation would be, again, if you can afford an iMac, that would be my computer of choice to edit on, just because I get really impatient and frustrated with the MacBook when I'm like trying to edit and it's just slowing down. It takes forever to like push one button and make something happen. So if you're impatient and crabby like me, just consider maybe investing in an iMac. And it's a huge screen too, and it's a great computer otherwise, not just for editing. Also, one final thing to remember about YouTube videos is people's attention span is pretty short. You want to keep your videos anywhere from 2 minutes to, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes at the most. I know sometimes us YouTubers end up going over. That shouldn't happen often, just because, you know, you just want to keep it concise and entertaining the entire time. So that's pretty much all I can think of as far as just tips for starting a blog and a YouTube channel. I'm sure there's a ton I missed. If you have questions, do me a favor, please. Leave your question in the comments, and if there are recurring questions, I'm going to leave the answer in the description box. So if you see that I haven't answered your question, go back to the description box and there's a good chance it's going to be in there, because a lot of you end up asking the same questions, so I don't want to go through and like answer them one by one. So please check the description box after you leave a question, and I will do my very best to answer. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, do not feel pressured to get all this stuff that I talked about, because if you want to do it, you will do it one way or another. Even if you have just the most basic of equipment, you got to start somewhere. That's just it. And eventually you will grow, and just keep at it. Be consistent, be persistent, and just believe in your work and it will grow. So thank you once again so much for watching. I've got some exciting videos coming up, so definitely subscribe and stay tuned, and share this video for other people who might be interested in starting a blog or a YouTube channel as well. Love you guys, and I will see you next time.